So Cody says, I have a hard time being passionate and driven. I can't find a business that I'm excited about. How can a man find his niche and his passion, right? So before you go starting a business, Cody, maybe what you ought to do is consider working for people that you like and respect, and see if you like doing sales, you like doing management, you like doing the marketing side of it, you like doing the leadership part of it. Sometimes you're not going to find what you're looking for early on. And by the way, your passion, your niche is not lost. So it's not something you find, it's something you develop. And you develop by experiencing things. Like I've worked in the food industry. I've worked well, I guess I've really worked in the food industry, in the service industry at Disneyland, customer service industry. And I realized like I love serving people. I also worked at a gay bar as a bouncer for a period of time, and I didn't like loud music, violence, and any of that stuff. So I was like, all right, that's not for me. I'm not going to open up a bar. It's not going to be my thing, but I really love making people's day. So I'm going to start creating businesses that transforms people's lives, right? And so I also had great mentors who I got to see, like Jim Franco was a great mentor. I saw what he did. He had a service business, and I saw how he treated his employees. And I was like, ooh, I like the part how he inspires and motivates his employees, but I don't like the part where he has to sit there and do the accounting. He would sit there with the accountants and do the accounting. I'm like, oh, I don't want to be an accountant. That looks boring, because he'd try and explain it to me and I would just glaze over. So when you go work for someone that you like and respect, who has a business that you may be interested in, you might start developing interest in some area of that business: marketing, sales, leadership, management. And when you do, then you start going, oh, maybe I can create my niche in this one area. So understand that developing your purpose in your niche takes time, but you have to go experience many different gigs to see which ones you despise and hate, and which ones are like, oh, this is interesting. Maybe I could see myself doing this for a period of time. And also, all of you should understand now that I'm on this side of my 30s, right? I'm 48, about to turn 49 next month, and then heading into 50. Well, guess what? Your purpose does change as you evolve and get older. Like when my kids were born, before my kids were born, I didn't mind traveling as much. I didn't mind traveling as much. As my kids were born, I started to travel less, because they were a large part of my purpose. I didn't want to miss them growing up. Now that they are so interactive with me, I travel even less. So I raised my prices on my speaking fee, so that when I'm asked to speak, it's $50,000 to speak and not $10,000 to speak, so that it's worth my time. Kind of like the potential speaking gig that I'm going to have there in Australia next year. I go, hey, how can I take them with me? Right? And so, your purpose changes. I never thought about doing anything like the Project or the Squire program. I was in it for fitness. I like the fitness business. I like helping people transform their bodies, because I know they transforms their mind. But as I got older, I realized that men are suffering in silence. I realized that young boys don't have a rite of passage into becoming men, healthy men. And I was like, ooh, that's a new calling. I feel called to do that at this age, with gray beard and more wisdom. I realized our country needs this. And so my passion and my purpose changed. And so understand that will always happen.